all of this stuff, it ain't even about me. It's about the people. Everything that we do is about the people, the memories that you make with the people that you love. It's got to be what keeps you going. The money can't be what keeps you going, because once you get all that stuff, you realize, well, what the crap? So you have to have a bigger purpose than yourself, or else you're just not gonna make it.
Today, we're out in the wild with Navy SEAL Chad Wright talking about what it takes to push your limits. Today's episode is powered by Marek Health. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video. Let's jump into it.
I'm just curious on the running. You know, like obviously you're a great speaker already from your own experience, but I love the fact that you're still doing these events, these runs. Is that to add substance to your word? Is that to be about it, not just talk about it kind of thing? Like, is there a reason you're still doing that?
Well, there's a verse in the Bible where the Apostle Paul is, he's talking about that he has to live his life to the same standard that he expects other people to live to. And he basically talks about how if he decides not to live by that standard, then he's disqualified as a preacher or as a teacher, And so I see it the same way in my life. If I'm not gonna get out and practice the things that I preach and the things that I believe in, then I have no right to ask anybody else to do that, or to get any better, or to challenge themselves. So it has to be a natural part of my own personal life. I have to challenge myself in the same ways I expect others. And it does, when you get up on a stage to speak to people, or you make a film like this or something like that, I couldn't do it if I felt like a fraud. If I didn't know for a fact that I was living it out to the best of my ability, I couldn't do it, man. So that's what it's all about for me. And it also does create stories, and that's where you learn the lessons to share with others. If you keep pushing and keep living it out, it's interesting. When I first started creating content, you kind of think, am I ever gonna run out of stuff? But if you keep living it, the well never runs dry. Like, you don't need to hold back. You don't need to hold back like, oh, I'm gonna save this story because I'm afraid that I'm gonna run out of stories. It's like, no, you just keep creating stories, and the well never runs dry. And so that's another great thing about, still doing the things that I've done in the past. And the Yukon 1000, that's gonna be a whole new story, whole new lessons learned.
Yeah, I love that idea that you're doing them to learn the lessons as well. Like, I think that's that gets you through some of those difficult miles as well, knowing that you're getting that you're getting those lessons, man.
Yeah, that's the most valuable thing I possess is the memories and the lessons. They're the most valuable because no one can ever take them from you. They're mine. The stories that you create belong to you, and they have value, and no one can ever take them from you. Man.
That's really underrated as well. I think a lot of people, you do an event like this, you want the accolades, you want the medal and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, when you sit at home and you have that nobody can take it away from you, it's huge. Like, it's such a
100%, man.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
One of the missions we run, starts right at the base of that mountain right there, across the valley, and it goes straight up the brow of the mountain to the summit, and follows that ridge line east for a long, long ways. That's the Pinhoti Trail. So Pinhoti Trail runs right up top of that ridge, and then that's a 335-mile long trail that actually ends up feeding into the Appalachian Trail. So a lot of people think the Pinhoti is actually the true start to the Appalachian Trail. They're trying to get that changed. There are a lot of people pushing for that because it starts at the mountain that reaches 1,000 feet above sea level
That's the furthest west in the Appalachian Mountain Range. So it's kind of the true start of the range, the Pinhoti. That Pinhoti means wild turkey in whatever the Native American tribe that was around here. And the trail marker for the Pinhoti is a turkey foot. Pretty cool trail. You guys come on in. Those are guinea hens. You ever seen a guinea hen before?
No.
Yeah. It's an African bird. They're really wild. They're wild birds. They'll roost in the trees, and they're really good alarm systems. So if anything comes in this pasture that they're not used to, they're gonna go crazy. Now this is my girl Shaky Legs. And the cool thing about goats is goats have no natural defense. So they have no way to defend themselves other than their horns, but it's pretty ineffective against a serious predator. So they really play off of your energy. If you come in here and you're in a really bad mood or you're uptight, these goats won't approach you. They can sense that, right? And so it's nice to have them, because if you're having a bad day and you want to come in here and spend time with the goats, you have to force yourself to calm down, and they'll actually approach you then. This is Enos right here. And this is SD. Really his full name is Sir Thomas Dillard, so it's abbreviated STD. He's the boss man of the whole pasture. Hey guys, I'll show you guys these donkeys are pretty cool too. Come here, Coco. Yeah, she's afraid of the camera. Who is that, Enos? Yeah. But look, man, people would be a lot less uptight if they'd make this a part of their daily routine. I can promise you that much. Because these goats and these animals don't want to hurt nobody, you know? They just want to be loved on. This is Squirt right here. I think this is the part of Chad Wright that nobody really knows about or ever sees, right? This is one of my favorite things. I mean, you can just sit up here for hours with them, you know what I mean? Yeah. All this stuff y'all see on this film, none of this belongs to me. I don't own anything. This is all just on loan for me to use. You know, the Almighty has just loaned me this stuff for me to use it while I'm here, because it's all gonna go to somebody else one day. I don't own any of this. I don't own nothing.
I've been getting tons of messages asking about my health protocols ever since I did the world's heaviest marathon. The experience took a toll, and getting back to optimal health has been an absolute journey. That's where Marek Health have been absolutely essential. Their approach is beyond quick fixes. It's about long-term health and performance. They work with medical professionals to create personalized, evidence-based plans tailored to your needs, using pharmaceutical-grade treatments and cutting-edge diagnosis. Whether it's TRT, peptides, supplements, or like me, getting full health analysis to get you back on track, Marek Health provides everything that you need. And it's not just for athletes. If you're an entrepreneur or businessman like me, you might want that renewed focus, clarity, and energy. That's when Marek Health can get your brain performing at its peak. From comprehensive blood work to customized health plans, Marek gives you the tools to optimize your life. If you're ready to take control of your health, go to marekhealth.com and use code Mulligan for 10% off. The link's down below. I can't recommend them enough, and if you just wanted to get started, I would go and get your blood work done. Go get assessed, find out where they can help you. Use the link down below for 10% off using code Mulligan. Let's dive back into the video.
Hey, that's a cool paddle, ain't it? Hey,
It's expensive gear, right?
yeah, let me tell you, when you lock that paddle in the water, it doesn't move. So you basically lock that, see how that blade's curved like that? You lock that paddle in the water, and then basically you're pulling the boat around the paddle, right? Because when that thing hits the water, it's locked in because of the way the paddle blade's shaped. So when you paddle, Most people, your natural tendency is to paddle like this with your arms. See how I'm pushing with this arm and pulling with this arm? That's not how you paddle. When you paddle, you lock the paddle in, this bottom arm stays straight, and you pull with your core. And you pull the boat around the paddle, reset, lock, pull the boat around the paddle.
What was the sentence or the thing that you heard about the Yukon 1000? You were like, yeah, that's for me. Because you've not done this, kayaking, this is a first. What was the thing you heard? You was like, yeah.
So with the Yukon 1000, there are more people every year that climb Mount Everest than go past Dawson City on the Yukon River. So it's one of the most remote, it is the most remote area on the North American continent that you can possibly go to. I like that there's real risk involved. If you screw up out there, it will potentially cost you your life. And then my favorite part of the whole race is I'm doing the race with my best friend that I went through SEAL training with, David Charbonnet. David had a skydiving accident. He's paralyzed from the waist down. This will be the first time since he was paralyzed over a decade ago that he's left his wheelchair behind. He can't bring his wheelchair with him. So he's launching into the most remote place on the North American continent with no legs and no way to move. That takes courage. I want to go and learn from a man that has that kind of courage. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. I mean, would you do that, Neve?
Yeah, it sounds incredible.
I mean, I don't know if I would do that. I don't think I have the courage to do that. But he's putting a lot of trust in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We trust each other, which is why we're even willing to go do it. That's my favorite part is it's the people, man. All of this stuff, it ain't even about me. It's about the people. Everything that we do is about the people, the memories that you make with the people that you love, the people that you're able to help, the people that you are, God uses us to lead people to faith in His Son, Jesus Christ. When we see that happen, just last week that happened, it's like, that's what keeps you going. It's got to be what keeps you going. The money can't be what keeps you going. The popularity can't, but because once you get all that stuff, you realize, well, what the crap? You know what I mean? So you have to have a bigger purpose than yourself, or else you're just not gonna make it. In a lot of other countries, you have to be very wealthy to be able to enjoy the outdoors, have a place to hunt and fish and hike and run. But man, in America, I'm so thankful for our public land because everybody has the opportunity to get out and enjoy God's creation, and you don't have to be wealthy.
I was going to say, even when you were poor, did you get to do these kind of things all the time?
Oh yeah. You don't need to own land in America. Why? Again, nobody owns land anyways. You're just a steward of land is all you are. You're just taking care of it for the next person, but you don't need to own land in America. All this is public. This is over 7,000 acres right here. Any old body can come out here and do whatever they want.
You said by the car up there, you said last week there was an example, I think, of somebody, was it finding faith or?
Yeah.
What was that?
We had one of our past students reach out to us, and he said, look, I feel that the Almighty is calling me, and I want to give my life to Jesus, but I don't know how to do that. Like, what does that mean? Like, receiving this gift of salvation, what does that mean? How do I receive that? And so my man Chili got to call him and just walk him through the simplicity of it. Like, a lot of people expect when you receive the gift of salvation, like, a dove's going to descend and there's going to be this bright light, and that's not the way it is, right? I mean, we're surrounded by the supernatural. These trees, the way everything works together, the sun, the moon, the stars, the supernatural's all around us. We just take it for granted because it's part of our existence. But when you receive the gift of salvation, it's just it's a decision of obedience that you make to the calling of God. God wants you obey. And the process then begins, which is a lifelong process of being conformed into the image of Jesus Christ, right? That's what it's all about. So Chili got to walk him through that, you know.
We are on a mission to tell the stories that traditional media, big corporations, and all the streaming platforms won't tell. So we want to bring those stories to you. And to do that, we travel around the world with our film crew to make these documentaries and these interviews. And I want to say a massive thank you to our Patreon members who have helped make this possible. If you want to become a producer of the show, go to the link down below where you can get exclusive benefits like hours of extra content from people like Chad, Master Shahung Yi, and many, many more, and all the behind the scenes of how this show is made possible. And also, I want to say another support is at mulliganbrothers.com, where I haven't mentioned for a long time the Not a Journal, the journal that basically helps you get stuff done. None of that fluff, none of that rubbish that these guys have been pumping out recently with these journals where you have to fill it in for hours and hours. You affirm your weekly goals, your monthly goals, and your yearly goals every single day, and then you write lists and break it down on how to get stuff done. Proven to work. And then also the Memento Mori poster, a reminder of how long you've had on this earth and maybe how short time you've got left. It's a thing that I use again every single day. I see that and it absolutely motivates me. So I want to say thank you to everybody who supported us through those avenues. And if you want to support us to make this show possible, become a producer of the show down below or go get some product from the website. Thank you so much for making this possible.